Alright, here are my thoughts on Sleeping Beauty. So, first of all, the art style in this movie is very interesting compared to, like, the previous Disney movies. I think, they had someone in their studio. I don't really study into these things about, like, the artists and animators, but, yeah, major props to whoever's responsible for the artwork in this movie. It's very very stylish and very, very pretty. The trees, for instance, have a very unique design, and the castle. Just the settings are just gorgeous in a very unique way. Same goes for like the character designs, particularly Aurora. Like just the detail in her hair and everything. Yeah, she's a very attractive character in more ways than one. But yeah, I mostly appreciate her design. Of course we got like Maleficent, and King Stefan has a very unique design as well. So is there much to say about the story? It's, if you know the story of Sleeping Beauty, then this one doesn't take any unexpected turns, like most Disney movies, at least of this era. The story works fine. I think what this movie mainly hinges on, though, is the characters. And yeah, there are quite a few likable characters in the movie. Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, they're pretty much the actual protagonists of the movie. Like, Aurora is billed as such, but yeah, we've spent a lot more time focusing on Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And yeah, they're pretty much the best characters in the movie. Maleficent being a very close runner-up. Actually, this is my favorite characters in this movie are very similar to my favorite characters in Cinderella. Like, we have, the fairy character, and, one of them is actually voiced by the same lady who voiced the one from Cinderella. They're my favorite. Second favorite is the villain, who also happens to be played by the same lady as the villain from Cinderella. And then my third favorite character is, characters are the two royal guys. One of them looks very similar to the king from Cinderella, and he's short, fat, got a white, he's bald, has a white mustache and stuff. And then the other one is tall, skinnier, and has dark hair and facial hair. Only the latter is a king in this case, but those guys are pretty underrated, and it's mostly about Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, and they're all very likable. And just like Cinderella, we have a boring prince and a boring princess. I wasn't the biggest fan of Cinderella as a character, but there are some aspects to her that I can appreciate. And, there were some, details with, like, there were, like, some aspects of her attitude and how she reacts to things that, made her a little interesting. And, she was kind of active and, trying to make her dream come true. She didn't just sit there waiting for her prince to come, like, Snow White and stuff. But yeah, Aurora barely does anything, and as a character, she's just completely boring, kind of annoying, actually. Yeah, I do not care. Yeah, gorgeous design. I do not care for her as a character. Prince Philip. Again, the prince isn't very interesting, but like I said in my Cinderella review, they do kind of get slightly better with each movie. Like, the one in Snow White was just nobody. He was just pretty much his whole character was that he was in love with the princess, and then, in Cinderella, we get to know him just a little more, and we see just a tiny bit more. And we do see some unique expressions from him, like the yawn. This one, we see a bit more of him. He at least has a somewhat active role in the movie. And towards the beginning, there's like a small hint of character with him. It doesn't carry over into the later parts of the movie, but you get like a comedic scene with him and his horse, and yeah, so he's at least a little bit better than the other princes, but we still have a way to go. But yeah, the next prince is the guy from Little Mermaid, and if I remember correctly, he's kind of interesting, but yeah, we'll get to 89 when we get to 89. Still got a way to go. 30 years, to be exact. Let's see. And, of course, Maleficent is obviously one of the most notorious, famous Disney villains ever for a reason. It's mostly, like, in terms of her presence, and, yeah, the lady who voices her just puts on an amazing performance. Like, she's a major reason why she's such a great villain. Same goes for the lady from Cinderella, although I think the one from Cinderella had some more clever characteristics to her villainy. Maleficent's just kind of a basic witch, but still, she has like some awesome power. She does some crazy, badass things with her powers, and her performance is just amazing. It's definitely one of the greatest animated movie villains. I'm not sure if I'd call her my favorite Disney villain, but she's up there. But yeah, much else to say. Art style check, characters check. Yeah, it is a pity we don't really get to know the Aurora more, since she is supposed to be the main character of this movie, but yeah, I guess that's just the nature of the story. She spends most of her time sleeping, and yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to talk about. Well, of course there's the climactic fight scene with Maleficent Dragon. Yeah, definitely one of the most legendary Disney climaxes. And it's kind of funny how, like, Philip is being played up as the hero, even though the fairies are kind of doing most of the work. Like, he fights with everything he has, but, mostly in the scene where he's fighting, like, the guards and stuff, he can't seem to defend himself on his own, so the fairies have to, like, cast all these spells, but whatever, the fairies are the best characters in the movie anyway. So yeah, this isn't the best Disney movie ever, but it's still definitely worth watching. Yeah, I guess I'd give it an 8 out of 10, still a relatively low end of the 8 rating. Yeah, somewhere around Cinderella. I can't decide if I like that movie more or this one. This one's got a little more entertainment value, but, there's a bit more character in Cinderella, so it's kind of hard for me to decide. But still, they're both really good movies. And yeah, if you're a Disney fan and you happen to have not seen this one, definitely check it out. And also, I'm just going to say it, screw the Angelina Jolie Maleficent movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It did a terrible job adapting this story, and I don't care if they're taking a unique angle with it, it sucks. It's horrible. Just screw the Jolie movie. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Mashit and Smash signing off.